Dan Sodergren, technology and AI expert. Dan, morning.
Good morning, Steve.
Are universities moving fast enough when it comes to recognising the implications of AI?
Well, yeah, before I kind of answer that one, I have the joy of doing keynotes for not only universities, but for corporates and other things as well about AI. And one of the big things is you can't actually detect good AI. So one of the lady was there talking about the fact that university can use this tool to detect things. No, you really can't, because what you're doing is just detecting bad AI rather than well-prompted and well-used AI in that case. So much so that OpenAI and other people literally came out and said there's no such thing as AI detection anymore because these things can be too advanced. Now, however, people have sold a myriad of these kind of AI detection tools, and I get there's an industry there, but most people are now discounting those because they give false negatives, especially, ironically, against people who use English as a second language. And so actually you can be penalising people who aren't using AI at all, but accusing them of because the machine says so. But there we go. Anyway, we should definitely teach kids and young people how to use AI. I love the fact that the other caller was doing so, especially around computer science as well. But as he rightly said, it's more to do with bug fixing rather than just creating code. Because in the future, AI won't replace you, but somebody using AI will. And if that gentleman's looking to get a job, one of the best things he can be learning how to do is to use AI. And I'd also like to put it to universities, to be honest with you, if AI can be seen to be doing your degree, then it's likely to, in the next couple of years, be able to do that job as well, because we're in this fifth industrial revolution. So to answer your first question, Stephen, yes, education must change. It must change rapidly. Think about how different is transportation than it was 100 years ago. Well, it's a completely new thing, right? We're no longer on horses. We fly in the sky and things. Yet if you look at education, it's pretty much the same as it was 100 years ago, and how we mark and measure success. So, yeah, education, didn't like calculators for about 13 years and wouldn't accept those. But of course, there's more maths than ever, right? So, and the same thing, 10 years ago, 15 years ago, people were saying that Google and Google searching would destroy education because there'd be no point anymore because everyone could just go on the internet to find out everything. So I think each time we get a new bit of technology, there is a little bit of demonising. But I think actually with this AI revolution's already here. And so we've got to get ahead of the curve, especially in education, and we've got to rapidly change it.
So the genie's out the bottle. It's about talking to students about how they use it in a responsible method as well, and about assessing differently. Dan, is that the key to this?
Well, I think it has to be. We've got to kind of, the thing that we used to call flipping the classroom, i.e. you start to assess people around critical thought in live environments, as the lady was also talking about. But the reality is we need, a bit like with computers, Stephen, we've got to teach young people how to use computers. Well, now it's use AI, rather than say, this is all bad, let's go back to the way it was, because that world has changed. In the US, it's around 41% of over 18s have used AI, and especially in the student and education world, not quite as high for teachers. But if you look at the actual future, the future of work, which I talk about, AI is not going to not be part of it. And it's a bit like saying 10 years ago, oh, let's not teach them about computers and Google because it's going to be flash in the pan and we're going to go back to libraries and writing stuff down with pens. That world moved on. And what we've got to do in education, as I'm sure that the lady from the university knows, is we've got to equip them to get the new jobs in the world. And those new jobs are very much likely to be part of AI. And this is why we run something called the AI Teacher Course. I think we've got to teach teachers how to use AI themselves, but perhaps even more importantly, we've got to teach young people how to use it so they can get the jobs of the future.
Dan, thanks so much for your time this morning. Flip this back to Julie Strachan, Director of Academic Quality and Learning Enhancement from Robert Gordon University. Is Dan right there? Rather than just detecting this, what it needs to prompt, Julie, is a wholesale change in the way universities interact with students and measure students.
Absolutely. I do agree